morning and welcome to Good Morning Sri Lanka. My name is Ryan. Today is a Thursday, folks. It's the 4th of April and welcome to the program. And just to kickstart the show, it's going to be an interesting Thursday today. We got lots of stories to share with you, like the lady who started as a singer and now has won a top prize as an illustrator. Also a wonderful interview with a 19-year-old who represented the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts at the United Nations Conference in New York. We'll be talking to her in just a bit. Now, today's the 4th of April. You may say it's 4 days since April Fool's Day. If you're wondering what was the biggest prank pulled this year, well, according to some experts, April Fool's now seems to be a corporate. Corporations have taken advantage of April Fools, running ads and just trying to check out the market and how certain products could be accepted by certain people. And then if it doesn't work, they're going to pull back. But the biggest prank for April 1 was apparently the one that had the head start, but because it was shown on the eve of April Fools. And we're talking about Google Inc.'s prank saying that released a YouTube clip on Sunday declared that the world's most popular video website will shut down at the stroke of midnight. If you missed it, it's a 3-minute video that intended to be a gag, as it was a montage of clips and cameos from viral videos like David DeVore from David After Dentist. You know, the popular YouTube personalities all coming together and saying goodbye to YouTube. That's a prank, folks. Don't panic. Don't start thinking where to transfer your YouTube videos because it was a Google prank. And that was apparently the world's biggest prank that was pulled on the 1st of April. Now let's go to our first story that we'd like to share with you. Very interesting. This lady from Argentina, seems a lot of stories, good stories are coming from Argentina. Before embarking on this newfound career, was a vocalist for a band called Entre Rios. She also was a part of a Baroque chamber music ensemble before going solo, and then later on found out that she could draw and decided to draw for children. Her name is Marisol Micente, also known as Isol, and this is Isol winning World's Top Prize for children's books. Let's look at this.
Argentine author and illustrator Isol won the world's biggest prize for children's literature last Tuesday, with the jury for the Astrid Lindgren Memorial Award praising her ability to expose the absurdities of the adult world to children. From her home in Buenos Aires, the author, whose real name is Marisol Micenta, explained how news of her win had traveled quickly in the publishing world.
At first
they called me from Bologna, the people from my publisher, saying that they had a lot of publishers, many Swedish, that wanted to publish the works there, and in many other countries that they were going to propose a ton of offers to choose from. This means that the books are going to be more well known, they are going to be translated more. What's more, they are endorsing the work and saying this author is worth it. So this always gives liberty and importance to what one does, said Isol. The jury for the 5 million Swedish crown, $770,000 prize created by the Swedish government in 2002 said the talented author created picture books from the eye level of the child. Isol echoed this view and put the success down to being able to look at issues from a different perspective. We were all children once, and in some way there are certain themes that unite everyone as human beings. I work with themes that interest me as well. Today what happens is I put myself in a child's shoes as a narrator in order to see things from a different and non-judgmental perspective, to be able to think about things again, like someone who has just landed on the planet and sees things and asks for questions for the first time, she added. Isol, who has written and illustrated 10 books of her own, as well as other writers' books, was born in 1972 in Buenos Aires and also works as a singer and a composer. Her first book, A Dog's Life, was published in 1997, and her books have now been published in about 20 countries. Sweden's Astrid Lindgren, one of the world's most widely translated writers, is best known for her Pippi Longstocking books about the adventures of Pippi, her horse, Monkey, and friends Tommy and Annika. The prize was set up after she died in 2002.
I think that story just proves that if you have a passion, it's never too late to pursue that passion. Remember, she started as a singer and then not totally turning her back in the singing career, but decided to take up a passion, and that is illustrating books for children, winning $770,000. If I'm reading into my paper correctly, because sometimes I do miss certain things when I speed read. Now, still in the topic of children, and but this is a little bit on a side note. For if you're just like me, who grew up watching Sesame Street and the Muppets, it was a painful day when Jim Henson died, because Jim Henson actually was Kermit the Frog, and for quite a while, Kermit the Frog remained silent on Sesame Street and the Muppets, because they had a hard time finding someone. Although there was someone who could voice Kermit the Frog, the sorrow of losing Jim Henson was just enormous. And a couple of days ago, 2 days ago, Tuesday, J. Nabel Henson, who was married to the late Muppets creator Jim Henson and was instrumental to the development of the world's famous puppets, died on Tuesday morning. And she was 79, and she died at her home in Connecticut after a long battle with cancer, according to the company. And a very interesting story. Jim and Jane Henson met at a puppetry class at in the University of Maryland in 1952, and they've been together since the death of Jim Henson, and the two were married in 1959. So officially, the Muppets now, Sesame Street, the characters in Sesame Street, are orphans. Sad to say, but at least now Jane will be together with Jim. So kids, a little bit on a sad note. And we got a quick break that we need to go for, but let me remind you, we have an interesting conversation with a young lady. She's only 19, who represented the World's Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts at the United Nations Conference in New York. We'll ask her about how it felt to be among people who could start change, and what inspires her, what frustrates her, and what she plans ahead, and a lot more. So please stick around. More of Good Morning Sri Lanka when we come back. Good morning, welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. For those just joining us, it's a Thursday, folks. It is the 4th of April. Yes, my hair is all messed up today. My apologies. And before we get to our wonderful talk with the lovely young lady who's only 19, but got to go to a United Nations conference in New York, let me tell you about another lady, very interesting, who has recently decided to use jewels to build schools. We're talking about Angelina Jolie, who has come up with a stylish way to raise funds for an all-girls school in Afghanistan. We might be able to talk about this also with our guests. The actress and UNHCR Goodwill Ambassador has launched a jewelry line with Robert Prokop called The Style of Jolie. Sales from the line will go towards the Education Partnership for Children of Conflict. It's an organization that Angelina Jolie co-chairs. The line includes, among other items, an 18-karat rose gold necklace that Jolie wore to the premiere of her 2010 movie Salt, as well as matching bracelet and sets of earrings. She has said that she has drawn upon her personal inspirations and influences to develop her style, and the beauty of the creations matched by the beauty of the spirit behind Angelina's heartfelt mission to empower children in crisis. Now, if there's if you're fancy jewelry, that's probably one line of jewelry that you might want to get your hands on and to purchase, because it is for building schools in Afghanistan. Now, from one wonderful lady to another, she's very young, 19 years old, and hope I get to pronounce it correctly, a student of Visakha Vidyalaya in Colombo, currently reading for a degree at the National School Business Management. But that is not the thing that makes her special. She represented the World's Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts at the United Nations Conference in New York. The one and only 19 years old, Chamatia Fernando. Good morning, Chamatia.
Good morning.
Good morning. That is a big task to represent the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts at the United Nations. Okay, if you could tell our viewers a little something about Girl Guides and Girl Scouts.
Yeah, I represented the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts as a youth delegate. And I should say that it's a voluntary organization with over 10 million girls around the world in 145 member countries. And Sri Lanka is one of its members for more than 96 years. So I am so proud to represent the World Association as well as being a Sri Lankan at the United Nations. And this was the Commission on the Status of Women, the 57th session.
Yes, of the Status of Women that was held in New York from February 28 till the 15th of March. Before we get to the conference, we were lucky a couple of months ago actually to talk to two of the Asia Pacific leaders of the Girl Guides Association, and they said that it has always been, in their blood to be part of the Girl Scouts and the Girl Guides. Is it same for you?
Definitely.
Did you go for like choir, or this was really your focus, like the Girl Guides, Girl Scouts?
Yes, definitely, because I've been involved in guiding since I was 9 years old with Little Friends first, and then I moved to Girl Guiding.
Okay.
So I've been involved with it all through these years, and it has been such an inspiration for me, and I've loved doing guiding, and I'm so proud to be a girl guide, because everywhere you go people look up to you and they know that you've been a volunteer in doing all this social service and doing things to the community and trying to bring up change and difference in certain things. And I've always loved doing guiding because it's always been a challenge, definitely, and also it has always been fun because we enjoy a lot doing all outdoor activities and games, and at the same time doing test work and things like that.
Well, from 9 years old to 19, so that's 10, if my math is proper, 10 years. Have you seen, I know for a 9-year-old girl, you might not have noticed it, but everyone now is talking about empowering women, the new role that the woman should be considered and accepted as the new role in the world order. Have you seen the changes, and has it been easier for the Girl Guides now to cause certain, like even small changes in society? Because I remember talking to the two ladies who represent Asia Pacific. One of the most frustrating is you talk about an issue, you plan to implement certain, but it doesn't happen. How is it for you for the 10 years that you've been with us?
First, when I was involved with Little Friends, I think we were too young. We were just, I think I would say I was in grade 4 or 5, like that. But since then, we were involved with community service projects. Like we used to collect books and clothes and things like that, and we used to distribute them among the low-income settlements. But by doing certain small things, I think we definitely brought up just some kind of happiness or satisfaction to those people who actually need that support. And also like through company projects and things like that, we try to bring up some kind of service to the society, and to stand up and say we need to stop polluting the environment or stop wasting water. We have to protect electricity, things like that. Small certain things.
Okay.
But sorry.
Go ahead.
But with when we kind of moved up to girl guiding, we did bigger projects. Like we did certain things on HIV/AIDS, and also about diabetes, and also about these women rights, and empowering girls and educating them through non-formal education.
Let me just get to a little bit of the topic of the conference. It's stopping violence against girls and young women around the world. And for those just joining us, that is the 57th Commission on the Status of Women that was held at the United Nations headquarters. So if you could take us to the United Nations headquarters.